Hi everyone. Okay, welcome to yet another YouTube video. Today's video is just giving you a quick top tip for your pupillage application. Now my top tip is quality over quantity. I think that it is so important to be really tailored in your approach. Some people say, oh, the more applications that you make, the more you increase your chances. But I actually think that the quality of your applications can diminish over time. That is because in order to make a really well-crafted application, even just one, it takes time, it takes research, it takes energy, it takes creativity. And, we are finite resources. You only have so many hours in a day. You only have so much you can do. And I'm sure if you're an excellent candidate, then maybe you have more than one thing that you're balancing at the same time. For me, for example, I remember working, doing the bar course. So I was doing paid work, I was doing the bar course, and I did my pupillage applications at the same time. Those of you who have done the bar course know that that course is intense. So you really have to be constructive with your time. You have to be quite methodical with your time. And even if you're not doing the bar course at the same time, maybe you're working at the same time. When you do your research, if that research is done well, then you are going to put yourself in a much better position than someone who has done 10/20 applications and done a bit of a copy and paste job in answer to the question, why us? Why this chambers? The thing is, chambers know that you're applying to different chambers. They know you're not just applying to them. You want to show that you've actually taken the time to think about this chambers and you actually want to be there. Part of that is because, chambers are investing, they're pooling their resources together, investing in your training, investing in your pupillage award for you to be there. And they want to know that once they train you up, you're not going to be looking elsewhere, or you're not going to be trying to sort of get into another chambers and using them as a stepping stone or whatever the case might be. Here I am advocating for quality over quantity, so maybe just a handful. For me, I applied to 6 chambers. I think 6 to 8 is a good number. I had already decided ahead of time that I only wanted to make a handful of applications to chambers that I really wanted to practice from. So how do you go about researching chambers? Obviously, the first thing that you want to be sure of is that they actually practice in the practice areas that you want to do. A lot of people think, well, I don't really know what I want to do, I'm not really sure. And I would say in those circumstances, go to a chambers where they do a real variety of work. They do everything: crime, public law, employment, personal injury, just a real vast array of different areas, so that you can really have exposure to different areas of law in practice. Once you've identified that they do either the practice area that you want or a good mix of practice areas, then I would say make sure that you check that they're actually recruiting for pupils in that area. So my chambers, for example, we have specialist pupillages. So for example, we will offer a pupillage in employment or media, and then we might offer a more general pupillage. That is not guaranteed every year. So some years they might not offer a media pupillage, for example. So you really do want to check that you're applying for the right pupillage. And I know that sounds really basic, but some people think, well, if I apply for this area, maybe later on I can then get into a different area. And I actually think that, you might just end up playing yourself. I mean, everything happens for a reason. You might apply for that area and end up loving it, who knows? But equally, I think you should really go for what you want. For me, it's about looking at the junior end and looking at what their junior tenants are doing, the kind of work that their junior tenants are doing. It's great when the KCs are doing these big attention-grabbing cases and they're always in the press. But what about the junior tenants on a day-to-day, Monday to Friday? What's their bread and butter? What are they actually doing? Because that will give you a good indication of what you're going to be doing as a pupil or as a junior tenant in that chambers. Try to spend some time in chambers. If you've done a mini pupillage, I think that is always best. Even if you haven't done a mini pupillage, don't let that put you off. If you've met 1 or 2 people, like a handful of people, like just to get a vibe, just to get a feel for, what the culture of that chambers is like, who are the predominant voices, what is it like to practice from that chambers. One thing I really want to say, particularly to candidates from non-traditional backgrounds, do not self-eliminate. I don't want to see you saying, oh, the pupillage award is X amount, they'll never take me, or worse still, everybody in that chambers looks like this demographic and I'm not from that demographic, so they're not going to take me, or whatever. All of that, please clear it out. Close it up. Close it up. I don't want to hear it. Don't do it. Don't self-eliminate, because there is power in just kind of going for what you want. I remember going through pupillage and I remember speaking to one of my really good mentors, and he basically said to me Listen, everybody wants to be there, but nobody wants to be the first. You know, we applaud people like Rosa Parks. We applaud people like Michelle Obama, and, you know, all of these, you know, Nelson Mandela and all of these great people, Oprah, the first person to do this, the first person to do that. It's fantastic. But when we think about the challenges that come with being that first person, the first disabled person in this particular space, the first Black person in that particular space, the first Sikh person from that community in this particular space, you know, there are challenges that come with that. There is an experience that comes with that. That is undeniable. But like, at the same time, if you're not the first, somebody has to be the first, okay? In order to have a truly diverse environment, somebody has to be the first. But also, you don't know what the beauty of that training will be, what that experience will be, just because you're self-eliminating, because you're saying, oh, they only go for people from this background. Not knowing that if you just go for it, you will get a pupillage. If you just go for it, they'll be looking for someone like you. They're even looking for somebody that looks different. They want someone that just brings something completely different, a completely different background, completely different clients. But here you are, sitting down, self-eliminating because you went to X university. I really want to encourage you, especially if you're from a diverse background, please don't self-eliminate, because this whole profession is getting really, really diverse. And solicitors are looking to instruct diverse barristers. They're looking for people who speak their language, can relate to their clients, who have the interpersonal skills to really connect. Like, that's a great superpower that I find that people from diverse backgrounds tend to have in abundance. So I really want to encourage you that this profession is for you. Come on through. And I just think when you're doing what you are called to do, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, listen, provision will come. You will have all of the tools that you need in order to thrive in this profession.